everybody. This is Afrikanwatch Media. We're coming to you live from the venue of our Conferment proper, our Conferment of the Redemptorist head, Provincial Redemptorist head of the Catholic Church here at Satellite Down. We are at St. Michael, Raphael and Gabriel. They call it the Archangel Catholic Church. And here I have with me Mr. Mark C. Ogwe.
We are right here again in Satellite Town to continue what we know how to do best, that is giving honor to whom honor is due. We are talking about the Redemptorist Vice Provincial Superior, very Reverend Father Kingsley Onyekuru, CssR, a priest of God, a man of God, who a lot of people admire because of the way he does things. And we are here right away. I'm sure the head of news also have something to say.
To whom much is given, much is expected. To whom deserves the honor should be given to. This person we are talking about has really, his foot is on the sand of time already. Not even we will leave his foot on the sand of time. He has paved the way for many priests of his kind to look up to him. The church looks up to him. He's responsible for a lot of development in the church. If you take a good look at the environment, you see a lot of buildings, a lot of things going on. It's quite a good thing that we are here to honor such a great man. And before I go ahead, we'll be going straight inside for the event and the Conferment proper to remind our audience, this is the Conferment on the very Reverend Father Kingsley Onyekuru, the Afrikanwatch National Patriot Conferment. That's what we're here to do today. And my name is Atam Sunday. We'll see you soon.
The Afrikanwatch would tell that just a simple priest, and I was was approached by them. I have been interviewed by them severally, and I think it's a reputable publishing company, and they approached me for this, and I think it's one of those things. It's a reputable publishing company, and I agreed to accept this honor. I think anybody could have been given that other than me, and there are so many other people making differences in the world who are not recognized. I'm just a simple priest doing my own work, and I hope this could make a difference also in the lives of people. That is my opinion. Jesus was a true lamb of the world, and all of us are following his footsteps. Now, we are all called to do that. Altar Christ, another Christ. Every priest is supposed to be another Christ. We are called, therefore, to represent everything he stands for. There are challenges, quite all right, and I may not be mentioning them here, but there are challenges humanly, because we are humans. However, I think a lot of priests have made so many differences in the lives of people. And I pray that it will move forward beyond just what the people see. You see, ordinarily, we do not want the televisions and the cameras around. However, sometimes they do have to in circumstances like this. But there are so many things happening. I'm just speaking about the Catholic Church because I know about it. Thousands are being fed in different parishes, different units of Catholics, and these things that do not show in the television or in the camera. Nobody sees them. The church has been doing a lot and should continue to do more proactively. When it comes, I think everything comes down to the point of corruption, injustice, and all that bedevils Nigeria as a whole. So if the church can become more of a prophetic voice, it has been there, she has been there speaking, but a lot more of it is needed. A prophetic voice for the poor, the most abandoned. Now the Redemptorists are, our charism is such that we work for the most abandoned, the less privileged, those who are not recognized in the society. So we are called more, really. We are called more. You don't see, when you work for the poor, you are not very much seen. You are not very much elaborate. But we believe that as we continue with the grace of God, because no human motive or whatever can actually do that. It's really the grace of God that motivates you. That divine initiative, God himself putting it in you or in the people to go forward, as he did with the prophets of God, with Moses and the rest. So that is what it is. I know the church does a lot, but it's not enough. And the church has limited resources. The St. Vincent de Paul does a lot. The church, this particular church, St. Michael, Raphael, and St. Michael, Raphael, and Gabriel Catholic Church will be sharing hundreds of bags of rice. People, indigents, do not have this. But is that enough? They will eat it and they will need food. So, structurally, something needs to be done beyond feeding people. People need to know how to fish. And oftentimes, people blame the poor. Most poor people don't want to be poor. A few, yes, they are lazy or whatever. But most people want to work. But unfortunately, the opportunities are not available. So, I think the church should do more in that regard by challenging the structures that are here. For now, the government is doing some, but should do more. The church doesn't have the wherewithal to do all that. The politicians have to do that. But we must continue to push them. A very difficult job. Yes, a very difficult job. Because when you challenge the status quo, you know, it is not an easy thing. They come back.
You're all welcome once again. Thanks for coming. Before I go ahead, we we all alive, we're not the owner of our lives. Before we do anything, we have to hand it over into the hands of the Creator. It is on that note I would like to call on our host for today, the reason why we are here, Father Kingsley Onyekuru, CssR, to please give us a short opening prayer.
All right. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. God our Father, we your children are gathered this afternoon, hot as it may be. But we thank you for you have been with us all through the year till this point. And for this ceremony we've gathered here for, everything belongs to you. All glory, all honor, all power belong to you. And we thank you for giving us the opportunity to share part of that. And so I pray today that as we gather as a people, especially with the Afrikanwatch who confer this special honor today, we pray that you will be with us, strengthen us, and make us always be accountable to the life we live and to the things we do particularly. All these we ask you through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Thank you very much. I'd like to introduce to us and then usher to the high table some very distinguished personalities seated amongst us here. And I'd like to tell you that one of our very good personalities, our invited guest, the chairman for today's occasion, is very right on his way. It's very close, so he will be joining us very soon. So I'd like to invite first and foremost to the high table here, the very Reverend Kingsley Onyekuru, CssR, to please come to the high table. Please, a round of applause for him. Alright, and I also like to have here on the high table Reverend Father Philip Obasi, CssR. Please, I would like to crave an indulgence. I am not calling it in any particular order. I am just calling it according to the list I scrambled down. Please, my apologies. I would like to also call on Father Vincent Zezue, CssR, the family and then I would also like to call on Father Callistus Onyanu, CssR. I'd like to recognize the presence of Mr. Duro Jaye Duke. If you are here, please join the high table. Okay? Okay.
Not yet.
We move ahead. And then I would like to invite to the high table as well Mrs. Elizabeth. Miss Elizabeth, is she there?
Not yet.
Okay, okay. Subsequently, as people come in, I'll still introduce them to us, their personality, who they are, what they do, maybe, yeah, as we proceed. Thank you very much. It's part of the I'd like to call on Father Pascal to please join
There's a seat for you. So that the height will be balanced.
Alright, I would like to call on Mrs. Ngozi Chukuma. Mrs. Ngozi Chukuma, please. Invited to join. The six staff, you can take the front row. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, Solomon, AMP, is the chairman of the occasion. Like I mentioned earlier, he's very here and he'll be with us soon. So quickly, we'd like to take the our host welcome note. Please, our host would like you to give us a very brief welcome note.
Yes, this is going to be very, very short. First, I welcome everyone here on a spiritual note. I apologize for the brief time that was given for this occasion. It was given to the fact that I was readily not available at the time the ceremony was supposed to hold. And the Afrikanwatch did everything possible, but unfortunately I couldn't make it. But once I came in, I felt it was necessary to get it done. And I'm happy to have all of you here. For me, ceremonies are not very much with the number of people around, but the fact that they are celebrated the way they are celebrated. So I want to thank all of you who were able to come here within the little space of time that was given. I want to in a special way thank the Afrikanwatch for putting this together. The chairman is not here who conferred the whole title, but I also want to thank him, he's on the way. This is a very difficult period because of the season that we are in. We know the traffic situation and all that. Yes, all of you, maybe the Afrikanwatch, all of you are, some of you are coming from far. So I appreciate that. So on that note, I want to say once again, you are very much welcome.
Thank you. Please a round of applause. Thank you very much. For the sake of posterity, let me just introduce to us who and what we are. Now, we are Afrikanwatch Media. It's basically an online media platform where we do news, articles, sport, entertainment, everything concerning our society in general. We are based here in Nigeria, Mauritius, and South Africa, and we're trying to see how we can still expand further down the south and north and length and breadth of the world. And here we also have some of our crew members, not all of us, like Mr. Joe Ejiofor, our senior media consultant, due to one reason or the other, is not here with us. Barrister Rosemary Onyekuru, our legal advisor, she's supposed to be here too, but she has some things to quickly rush to. But however, some of us are here. I have Mark C. Bogo, the editor-in-chief of Afrikanwatch. Mark, also, I have another Mark Eze, our correspondent. That's him there. Please, Mark. I have Mr. Isiaka Oluwaseun, our head of graphics. Mr. Isiaka. And this is our online manager, stroke cameraman. His name is Samuel Igewo. Where is Mr. Sam, the Guardian guy? He works with us sometimes. That guy is outside. So, and my name, like I said earlier, is Sunday. At Sunday, I am the head of news and strategy. You welcome. Alright. We'll go straight to a brief note about Father, the very Reverend Father, Kingsley Onyekuru. Just a brief note about him. For some of us who don't really know too much about him. Everybody has a history that not everybody knows, but they know him by name, by title, and even by face. I'd like to call on our editor, Mr. CEO, to please come and give us a very brief note on the very Reverend Father Kingsley Onyekuru, CssR. Thank you.
I still remain Mark C. Ofu, the editor of Afrikanwatch. Well, one of our pioneers and the head of our senior consultant to Afrikanwatch, Mr. Joe Ejiofor, who was supposed to do justice to this, like he earlier mentioned, had a very serious function. Called me yesterday morning and said, Mark, please, you guys have to go and do that. Do it very well. I trust you guys and I know you guys can do it. So this is the short address which the editorial board in general prepared that I'm going to present. Well, without wasting much time, Father Kingsley is not new to most of us here. And I can boldly say that I have known Father Kingsley since 2005, while he was a priest here. I think then Father Jeturo was the parish priest. So I've known him for long. So I should be able to tell a little bit about the editorial board. Well, nevertheless, Conferment of Afrikanwatch National Patriot, AMP, to Very Reverend Father Kingsley Onyekuru, CssR. Those who may not have had a true encounter with the Redemptorist Vice Provincial Superior of Nigeria, Very Reverend Father Kingsley Onyekuru, CssR, may not be able to give a distinct identity of him. Some may see him as a pious priest, hard taskmasters. Others, perfectionists in religious matters and tolerance. While those who are near to him will say, a priest of God and a role model to many young priests and others. But for Afrikanwatch, he has all the qualities mentioned above. In fact, an intellectual, a transformer. Well, today, men and women of great reputes, including religious faithfuls, have been testifying their various testimonies about your leadership qualities and good works, including strong faith in God, just as St. Paul reviews to us in James chapter 2, verse 18, that someone may say, so you have faith and I have good deeds. Show me this faith of yours without deeds. Then it is by my deeds that I will show you my faith. Father Onyekuru has proven this, and certainly, as Christians, immortality is the ultimate prize. A compatriot and patriot, indeed. No wonder the wife of the second president of America and mother of the sixth president of America, Abigail Adams, 1744 to 1818, said, a patriot without religion, in my estimation, is as great as a paradise, as an honest man without the fear of God. Is it possible that he, whom no moral obligation binds, can have any real good will towards men? Can he be a patriot who, by an openly vicious conduct, is undermining the bonds of society? The scriptures tell us, righteousness exalted nation. Yes, we then not pass judgment whether Father Onyekuru is righteous or not. It is only God who has that honor. You're welcome, Ambassador. Yes, it's a pleasure to have you. Yes, as I continue, that it is only God who has that honor to give. But we know that his life is a Bible most of us read. Just like I mentioned earlier, that I have known Father Kingsley since 2005, when he was an associate priest in this archives, who was and is committed to the services of God. Just like John the Baptist will cry in the desert at the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ, Father Kingsley also cries for justice. And not only justice, but for fairness too. And that brings us again to the popular maxim given by Lord Action, 1844 to 1902, whose name was given by John Emerist Edward Gabet, an English historian who served as a religious professor of modern history at Cambridge University, said in the great book titled America's God and Country, that great political idea, sanctifying freedom and concentrating it to God, teaching men to treasure the liberties of others as their own, and defend them for the love of justice and charity more than as a claim of right, has been the soul of what is great and good in the progress of the last 200 years. This Asians explains better the virtues of the Redemptorist superior we all celebrate today. Therefore, to end this short exhortation, please permit me to use the words in the popular ancient movie titled Tron, that men are haunted by the vastness of eternity. And so we ask ourselves, will our actions echo across centuries? Will strangers hear our names long after we've gone and wonder who we were, how briefly we fought, and how fairly we loved? Once again, Afrikanwatch congratulates you and the entire Redemptorist communities in Nigeria. Long live very Reverend Father Kingsley Onyekuru, CssR. Long live Afrikanwatch. Long live Redemptorist communities. Long live Nigeria. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Editor-in-Chief. That was quite a very wonderful speech there. Before I proceed, our chairman of the occasion that I earlier mentioned that will be here is finally here. He is Ambassador David A.K. Solomon, A.N.P. Please, a round of applause. He is Ambassador Doctor. I skipped that, Doctor. Thank you very much. All right, let me give you a brief profile about this man here so that we all get it straight why we decided to make him the chairman of this great occasion, because Father Kingsley is also a great man, and the great man is here invited to come and confer on him a great honor as well. So, Ambassador Dr. David Solomon, A.N.P. is the Director General of the World Peace and Unity Organization International, soliciting for peace and unity all over the world. Now, he got his ambassadorial honor from the Universal Peace Federation in collaboration with the United Nations some years back. Now, he is the national patron, Millennium Development Goals Monitoring Initiative here in Nigeria. He is also the managing director and chief executive officer, Trans World Group of Companies Nigeria Limited. He is a Democrat in spirit, obviously. More so, I'll tell you some things about him. Or should I go ahead, Ambassador? Permit me. Ambassador 2019 will shock the world. He's making it big for us here in Nigeria. He has good and great plans for us in Nigeria. He's a man with a large heart, and he loves his people. It will interest you as well to know that Ambassador Solomon is the chairman, National Democratic Liberation Task Force, here for the pursuit of the welfare of the masses here in Nigeria. And he's also a third eye security expert that works for the ECOMOG with intelligence services in Liberia, Sierra Leone, and other countries of sub-Saharan Africa. Please give a round of applause. All right, we'll go straight to the next thing on my item, the next list of my item, or the next item on my list. I'd like to call out Mark. Mark, please come once again. We'd like to have a brief media chat with the very Reverend Father Kingsley Onyekuru. It will be done just right here. It will be live. We're not scripted. We're doing it live.
Very Reverend Father Kingsley Onyekuru, CssR, the Redemptorist Vice Provincial Superior of Nigeria. This is just for some people who do not know some of the virtues and some of the things you also believe in, to also share with them the life experience. So first and foremost, I would like to start by sharing some life experience, how you started, and maybe eventually, with the future, you get to the stage that you're actually over to you.
That's a very general question. And it's been a journey. And a journey is always a pilgrimage we should make of faith. So, to be where I am, beginning with my humanities, I have loved the priesthood. I was born into a very Catholic family. I'm actually the fourth priest in my family, the very fourth. I have 3 other elder ones who showed me the way, and I got attracted. Not only that, I went through the minor seminary and also gained some motivations there. But of course, there was the spur to join the religious life. At that time, I didn't fully understand, only read about. But I had this whole motivation to join the religious life for me to make a difference. So that is actually what led me. The other intricacies and the little things that happen along the lines are different dramas on the way. However, it was the motivation I gathered through because having really elder ones who were priests, I was privileged to meet a lot of priests from Nigeria and outside Nigeria. And they were always visiting. I had encounters with them. Even though I was in the minor seminary, I had that motivation to join the religious life. For me, primarily at that time, was that they make a difference in the lives of people and in society. And I felt there was that need to join a religious life, to be a priest, quite all right, but to be a religious, to make a difference in the lives of people and in the society as a little contribution that one can make. So, but as I've joined, I've come to understand everything, more of what it is involved. So, in a nutshell, that is what I can say.
Okay, Father, if as we believe in immortality, and we also believe that there's a second world. Now, if you have the honor to come back, not looking at the negative aspect and the challenges facing the person, would you like to also follow this information again?
Irrespective of what happens today or tomorrow, I'm proud to be a priest, a Catholic priest, and I will remain proud. I'm happy, and it gives me not just happy, I'm fulfilled as a person to be a Catholic priest. So I know there will be no other word, but as people speculate, if it were possible to have another, yes. So I will remain a priest, and I love the life very much.
Okay, but you've traveled wide and have a lot of experiences in the priesthood and others. Can you intimate the people there some of the differences you see between the West and going back to Africa?
Yeah, the priesthood is one and only one. It's a universal, not just about a conceptual framework, but also it's a life thing, it's living, you can feel it, it's practical. Not just looking at the principles and laws that are involved, but it's one. But like you said, there are variations in how they are practiced. Now, I love the Nigerian priesthood. The Nigerian church is unique in itself, not without flaws anyway, but it's still growing, but it's different. You know, I just came in from Brazil. One unique thing about Brazil, less than a week ago, I was there. I went to churches and all that. You just could see, though they are very much like Africans, very, very much like Africa, but they were unique. When I was standing with one of the priests, he was telling me about Santa Barbara. I was, look, what is Santa Barbara? Until I was covered with people. You know, the people are all over it. I mean, I'm talking of thousands, as in thousands of men and women of different age groups, you know, singing and carrying different icons and statues and with faith. And it was a long journey. So it was different. So the Nigerian church is different in that way. So the Nigerian church is also very unique. So like the Brazilian church I gave as an example, the Nigerian church is a very wonderful church, a unique church. And the Western church is different. They have their own encounters. There are also good things about them. They have their own challenges today, particularly as you read about them in the media. But that is not all that is involved in them. Because if you've worked and been in those places and listened and talked to, worship with the real people, these are people with faith, and they are people who really love God.
Okay, I have two more questions before we go to the last segment. You know, currently Nigeria is facing challenges, and we also have so much churches, like earlier mentioned. You know, we are also looking for a way to see how these challenges can be covered. On your own aspect, or on your own perspective, do you think the church has a better role to play in building a nation, especially Nigeria?
The church will always have a place, a very important place. Religion, generally, let me not just say the church, has a very important place and a part to play in the building of every nation. I just gave an example with Brazil. You can talk about the United States. You can talk about any nation. There's hardly any nation that lacks religion. It could be anything, which is that inner voice, which is that longing to something beyond what you can see, what you can experience, longing for something higher. So that sort of transports you beyond the normal experience you're having at the moment. So for Nigeria, that is absolutely necessary and required if we need to really begin to hope, you know, hope-filled people, hope that it will get better, things will get better, that things will not remain as they are today. So yes, religion generally. The Catholic Church, very much so. Very much so. The Catholic bishops have done a lot in this regard. As a religious, we have done our little best, religious congregations and others, male and female, within the country, to make a difference in the lives of the people and also in the affairs of the country. Of course, you have to challenge the status quo. Like I told the Ghanaian people, to challenge the status quo demands a lot of courage. To challenge the status quo does not necessarily mean you are condemning them. You're actually pushing them if they realize. Making it like a push, no, to something higher. Go further beyond where you are. And that comes with a lot of repercussions. But the church must be ready to face those. The church must be ready to face those. And what the church is suffering most of the time is because of these. And you don't see the church as an individual or a composite of an individual. So you read everything about the church, maybe one church personality makes a mistake. No, it's a whole body. So the church has a very large role to play, to push them forward, challenge them. Because people have faith, they trust in God. But faith does not exist in a vacuum like that. It has to be practical. The people also want to see things happening. So if the church does not challenge the status quo so that they can change, like what is happening in Nigeria today, you're not pointing an accusing finger at any particular person, but the different cares. Everyone has to be more accountable and responsible to what they do, just as we are also, even as religious, as priests, are also called to be accountable and responsible. And I believe in the next 10 and 20 years, things will be different. I mean, one can actually forecast that within the next 10, 20 years, Nigeria will be a very different environment. How does that all play out? Can anyone really project with exactitude how it will be? No. I think that will be going too far. But I'm very hopeful with Nigeria, very hopeful with whatever that is happening, that things will get better. But people should not just pray, but there should be action. The church should not just pray, but also put in action.
Okay, finally, Father, the Temporary community, as we have read, is a community where a lot of people who are, especially in the hidden places, are being catch up for. Talking about the poor and those who doesn't have access to religion. These are places where the tourists try to go and nurture the people there. Can you really tell the audience some of the achievements made so far in this area?
There are so many achievements. Let me just mention the last one, which is just on anywhere in the world where Siamese twins, or joint twins are found is always a problem. Most often they die. If they don't die, they live a very miserable, by our own estimation, life, because they are conjoined, and it beats all normal understanding, medically and otherwise. However, recently, just about a few days ago, the twins who were born in this parish, just behind this church, and the church, this Archangel's church here, was able to send them to India, paid fully for it. The parents had no, the parish people saying, I don't know how many, is it 27,000 or something, the man had in his account. But single-handedly, the parish priest and the other priests within the parish gathered and motivated the people. Paid millions, not only to send the child, or treat the children rather, here in Nigeria, but in India. The parents traveled, they just returned. The children are hale and hearty. Now, that's a lot of resources. That's a lot of resources. Most people run away from it. But that is what we should be doing more. That is just giving you one example. There are those that are not heard of in the cameras. We work in some of the poorest places in Kaduna. We work in some of the poorest places in Calabar. We work in some of the poorest places, as you look at our nature around there in Oba. We work in some of the poorest places in the world. I look at Satellite Town today. Satellite Town was a slum. We began here in the 90s. You could hardly see anybody if you walk on the streets. But today it has transformed, giving the gentrification that has taken place within the whole arena had embodied this. It became a middle class environment, it's sort of mixed up. But it wasn't like that before. Satellite wouldn't have been able to build this kind of mega church if it were in those days, in the 90s and 80s, where in Nigerian standard, call the middle class, the working class. So, Alaba, for instance, where we are no longer there, if you knew how we started in Alaba, it was a slum, waterlogged. I kept telling people in this church, we've killed two mighty, not just snakes, pythons. But when you come here, you see that. It's like, oh no, it's all up, it's in the first world. No, but it is not. It wasn't, but it has transformed. That is what we should be doing. It hasn't been easy, but I believe that as we continue to contribute, it's just a little bit. Like when we challenge the government, what we tell them is a little bit. Just give a little bit to the people. The poor people don't demand so much. A little bit. Very soon the parish will be sharing hundreds of bags of rice for people. St. Vincent de Paul will do that and all that. People are bringing in items. What are you doing? You are contributing a little bit. You're giving a little bit to the people. That little bit makes a difference. That little bit will feed a child carried by the mother who doesn't know how the next meal will come. But that child will survive for that day, the next day, and has hope for survival, and could become the president or a better person to change the society tomorrow. So that little bit. By our law, we work for the most, and the less privileged and the most abandoned. That is what those we work with. So we get money from the rich, yes. We collect, like those who will bring the bags of rice, the rich ones, will take it from them and will hand them over to the poor. So those are the little things we do. I can sit down here and tell you more. People who would have died that have been saved, children who are being trained today up to the point of university level because of the work we do all over the world. All over the world. We are hoping to do more, to have places to take care of the disabled, to have places to take care of the abandoned youths who do not know, even if they have parents, they can go back to them, who are loitering, but you need the resources to do those. So once we are fully empowered to begin, we will get involved in all those. So a lot is expected of us. We haven't done much. We still need to do more.
You can always continue and continue to do it, because there's always someone out there who needs something to be done for, or who is in lack, or who is in need of something, or many other things. So there's no amount of good you do in this world that is always enough. There are always people out there who need one thing or the other. Before I proceed, I would like to quickly recite to us here, rather read to us here, the goodwill message to the Redemptorist Provincial Superior of Nigeria, Very Reverend Father Kingsley Onyekuru, CssR, as presented by me, but as written and directed by Ambassador Dr. David A.K. Solomon, AMP. Please permit me to go ahead with his goodwill message. With all humility, I join the good people of the Redemptorist community in Nigeria to warmly congratulate Very Reverend Father Kingsley Onyekuru, CssR, who today will be conferred with Afrikanwatch National Pictures, ANP, which is the highest honor in the media outlet. As briefed that this honor is only given to selected few who in various spheres of life have done tremendously in their area of calling, I therefore urge you to continue to do your best as we all await for immortality. I do understand that you have always promoted what is good, which is one of the purposes of our existence on earth. Just as William Shakespeare would say, do good, love all, and be thine for thy enemy. I cherish your leadership qualities. As such, I will not hesitate when called upon to contribute to your administration as superior. Once again, on behalf of my organization, both local and international, I congratulate you on this memorable occasion and the entire family of the Catholic Church under your watch. We do know that the Catholic Church is the eyes of religion the world over. God bless Reverend Father Kingsley Onyekuru, CssR, now to be added ANP. God bless Nigeria. God bless Afrikanwatch. God bless us all. Thank you. Thank you. All right, thank you very much. Let's quickly proceed to the conferment proper. This is, before we go straight to the conferment proper, I would like to quickly call on the ambassador to please give us a short speech. You're the chairman of the occasion, sir. So we were waiting for you to come before we start, but we have to start before you come. So please.
Most very Reverend Father, it thrills me to stand before you, distinguished ladies
gentlemen, all the protocols observed. When you were speaking some minutes ago, you sort of ignited my memory because everything you said here were well noted, and it's something that have ever, since my life, trained me about the Catholic mission all over the world. It is not just to boast moral. It's all reality that a Catholic, just like the Bible holds it, the cornerstone, and it continues to live in that symbol. I do educate people, I do talk to people wherever I go. If you have time to be involved in peacekeeping, in the war zones, in different parts of the world, you find that at any time, any part of the world cries, the first people that run out to help is Catholics. When you talk about the Caritas, you talk about the Red Cross, majority of these umbrellas are Catholic. I don't say that other people may not try, but Catholics took it as a tax that must be done for humanitarian work. They don't care what it takes them. And that has given them or established them every corner of the world you go. I was in Germany, in Austria, in Hamburg, in different nations. I just say, wow. Does it mean that everybody is a Catholic? Because we're not even doing it the way it's being done in those parts of the world. Every family has an altar. The symbol is there. But in the government offices. So, there's nothing to doubt, because if you also turn to history about the Jews, about what happened, First World War and other things, you still find the Catholics. And they are still doing the same thing. And they are never tired of this job. One, you can see, for people, it could look like a miracle, what you are saying about this place. A jungle. Catholic dives into such jungles and turn it, what do I call, a heavenly place. There are a lot of such things. Even at times, places that states, local government reject, fear of being, haunted by ghosts and all that. Catholic will say, give way. We will turn this place a holy place, and they will go ahead turning it. And that is why they have been torn. I'm not surprised that no nation, no religion, no organization, no political party can succeed without having people God has made a bulldozer to that very place, without which they can't succeed. I am proud of you walking into this palatial cathedral and the man behind it. So, the honor being given to you is more than deserved, and many more are coming your way from this very moment. I want to say that I'm blessed to be here, and I also believe I'm going out with blessing as I'm going. So today is a day that we're going to topple the history you have been making, just to be on top of it, as many others are lining up in wagon to come. And I will continue to answer calls. Anytime I'm called, like some years back, it was the Justice of Peace in Coca. He called me, and when I came there, I told him I had different appointments, but I have to share them because I had justice. Anything that had to do with justice, I carried upon my head right from my school day. I schooled in Santa Maria Primary School. From Santa Maria, I went to Stella Maris, Port Harcourt. You can see it has always been Catholic. So, when they called me, I'm not trying to blow my trumpet. I happened to give the biggest money in that very place. They said, why? I said, because the justice is entered inside. Anything that has to do with justice is what I pursue. Like now, I was picked from my bedroom. I never went anywhere to lobby anybody. I didn't spend money. I didn't say I want to contest anything. They called me and said, leave whatever you are doing and come. When I got to the place, I saw crowds gathered. They started hailing me. I said, what's going on? They said, you have been chosen to be the one to run for Vice President of Nigeria come 2018. They told me they have been understudying me for years and that they have decided to say, this is one of the credibles. We want to use this time because we want not the fake change. You know there's fake change. For a real, my own is emancipation of Nigerians from bondage of ages. I know I'm not praising Catholic, but I'm saying what I know. Catholics have been an umbrella of peace to this nation. Even when this nation could have gone into hellfire, Catholics stood with Jesus Christ on the road. Am I right? They have been umbrella of faith. And I'm not surprised to have some of all these shining Reverend Fathers who have made all these things to be a reality. Because they respect their calling. And they took the sacrifice. Just like our Lord took it. Sacrificing. This person sitting here could have been one of the multi-billionaires in the world. But he had vowed, Father, I will serve you unto death. Am I right?
Sure.
And he maintained it. He's not complaining. He's very happy with whatever he passed through. And that is why, so today is just a day of, I call it a starting point of greater events to this parish.
Amen.
Am I communicating?
Yes.
So, I don't want to waste your time because first, I omitted apology for arriving late. But I want everybody to forgive me because our road is so good. The traffic is overflowing. You can't believe with all the motos, with and so on, we're still struggling to be here because of good road. And this is why we're praying that in no distant time, God created road will come. Am I correct? Yes. So let me not keep you hanging because the time is very soon now. Somebody will be going to give mass to people. So let me stop now.
To interest you to know, the ambassador here intends to go to, or will be going to the ASURO Conferment 2019. Yeah, his principal, the energetic Dr. Dan Musa, will be contesting for the presidential position under the platform of the Democratic People's Party come 2019. We salute your courage and zeal, sir. We're proud of you. Please, a round of applause. All right, let me quickly rush time. Here with me, I have a prepared commentary. It's quite not too long. A brief commentary on the very Reverend Father Kingsley Onyekuru here. Please, I would like all of us to pay vivid attention to it as I will read it out for our hearing. It's quite a long epistle, not too long though, prepared by the great Mark here. So please, I beg of the time, please, as I read, I beg of you to please listen to me. Let me read out a brief commentary that we prepared on Very Reverend Father Kingsley Onyekuru, CssR. Standing here is me and Father Kingsley. I'm a big boy. Alright. John Keats in 1795 to 1821, an English romantic poet and one of the main figures of the second generation romantic poetry, along with Lord Byron and Percy Bysshe Shelley, noted, "A man's life of any worth is a continual allegory, and few eyes can see the majesty of his life. A life like the scriptures, figurative, which such people can no more make out than they can the Hebrew Bible. The above axiom creatively describes the man of God we all gather here to celebrate. The Very Reverend Kingsley Onyekuru, CssR, Redemptorist Vice Provincial Superior of Nigeria, who possesses virtues of life such as justice, wisdom, fortitude, resourcefulness, temperance, courage, and devotion." Very Reverend Father Kingsley Onyekuru was born in Ubowala Emekuku in Owerri North Local Government Area of Imo State on the 30th July 1971 to the family of late Mr. and Mrs. Jerome Onyekuru. He is the second child in a family of 4 boys and 2 girls. After his nursery and primary school, he proceeded to Mater Ecclesia Minor Seminary and St. Peter Clever Minor Seminary, Opala, Opala, Imo State, for his secondary education. Then, he gained admission into the Diocesan Seminary, but because of his zeal and interest in the religious life, he joined the Redemptorists, a religious congregation of priests and brothers. Father Onyekuru studied philosophy and theology at St. Peter and Paul Major Seminary, Bodija, Ibadan, in Oyo State, Nigeria. After his priestly ordination, he proceeded to Catholic University of America in Washington, D.C., where he obtained MSc in Business at the prestigious institute, amongst other courses. In his quest and taste for the search for knowledge, he proceeded to Denver University and University of Colorado, where he continued his study for doctoral program until he was elected into the office of the Vice Provincial Superior of the Redemptorist Vice Province of Nigeria. There is no doubt that the Redemptorist Vice Provincial Superior is a genius, We are very much sure that Father Onyekuru, in his heart, will be rehearsing the words of Johann Kepler, the founder of physical astronomy, who discovered the laws governing planetary motion and pioneered the discipline of celestial mechanics when he said, "I thank thee, my Creator and Lord, that thou hast given me this joy in thy creation, this light in the works of thy hands. I have shown the excellence of thy works unto man." So far my finite mind was able to comprehend thy infinity. If I have said out of thy glory, graciously forgive it. Just as the psalmist said, how can I repay the Lord for his goodness to me? I will raise the cup of salvation. I will call on the Lord's name. Father Onyekuru was ordained a Catholic priest on the 30th of June 2001. He began his priestly ministry at St. Michael, St. Raphael, and St. Gabriel Catholic Church, Satellite Town, Lagos, after which he was appointed as Formation Director at Redeemer House, Ibadan. He left the formation and spent some years at St. Patrick Catholic Church, Alaba, Lagos, from where he traveled to man the position of Procurator of the province in Denver, Colorado, USA. During this time, he also worked as a confessor in the Shrine of Immaculate Conception in Washington, D.C. Today, we are proud that a reputable media outfit, Afrikanwatch, is conferring their honor to our or to their very own. It is also marvelous on our side as a media house, and it is gracious in the eyes of God. Join me, everybody, to welcome an astute and distinguished fellow to be conferred with the honor, the highest honor in Afrikanwatch media, the Afrikanwatch National Patron. Please, a round of applause. Right about now, I would like to invite the parish priest to please come out. I'd like to invite Ambassador to please come out. We're going straight to the conferment proper here and now as he's standing. No need to go and sit down. Just stand. You just want to worry. When you bring this, you see what it is.
Sorry, are you on?
Okay. It's the conferment proper now. Please bring that. Yes. No, it's Afrikanwatch National Pictures.
Okay.
It's Afrikanwatch National Pictures.
With due honor or respect, on behalf of Afrikanwatch, I give you this award. Gold. On the same day, having considered you highly professional and successful, still find it difficult to do for the poor. Not the least, more is coming. This is a certificate recognizing most of the achievements of this choir, so that you place it the record, and more organs of it is coming your way.
With gratitude, I want to thank in a special way Mark and the group, the Afrikanwatch group. It's been a while I've known them, especially since I came back from my studies in and work in the US. I've had a few interviews and publications with them, and I hope we'll continue in contributing a little quota to the growth of this country. So I want to say a big thank you to your organization, and that God will continue to be with you as you continue as an agency proclaiming the truth in many ways and setting the record straight as much as possible, and also making sure that the good news in your capacity is proclaimed to everyone. So thank you very much. Ambassador, I want to say a big thank you, and I pray that your ambition will all be in support of you, that God will be with you as you set out for this special purpose of engaging the country in a very special and meaningful way. It is a very good ambition, and we pray that God will bring it to fulfillment in Jesus' name. Amen. For having that ambition and setting out at this point. If there's any way we can be of help, always feel free to call on. As a congregation, we do things. We don't always follow what is the normal. When I say that, I mean what is popular. We go for what we believe is true. And no matter how long it takes to fight, and I can tell you this, in different countries in the world where we have fought, is to fight that the people's choice and the people's, what the people want. So we'll be praying for you. And thank you for taking the difficulty. I know what it means to come see us around here. We've been very much worried. So, and for all of you gathered here, I know some of you do. My friend Luke is just coming all the way from Cotonou, rushing down. I know you took pains. I could have invited 1,000 people here, but I didn't want it that. I wanted a small crowd. I wanted it this way, and I am very happy with it.
Yeah, you did it like Jesus.
I'm very
You had the power to call me.
I am very, very happy with it. So be happy with me on this day, celebrate with me on this day, and know that I am very happy. Once again, for all of you here, my friends, parishioners, well-wishers, everyone, my brothers, everyone in the community, I thank you very much. Who put it on? I just told them a few days ago, and they're like, what? So well, it's going to be as little as you can. They did everything possible. By 8 o'clock, I have not come out, but they were already working. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Duro Chiakuru is here with us. I called your name earlier. You're welcome. We say welcome. Thanks for making it to our event today, despite all the everything you faced. We say thank you very much for honoring the invitation. I would like to quickly, we are at the tail end of the program already. We're about finishing some of the last thing on my list. I'd like to call on Mark. Please come and give us a closing remark before we take the closing prayer.
Spent enough time here, and it's better we also close this ceremony. Where we are very happy that the whole thing has come and gone. That the Father wanted it this way, like he never said. But he wanted the full church to be aware. But he wanted it this way. I want to thank all of you for coming to cheer Father up. We want to also encourage you, like whatever way you can support the tourist communities. I'm happy the ambassador is here. He is a philanthropist. And I'm also happy Father has also highlighted some things, like this Christmas period where people bring food items to give out to the poor. Ambassador will be doing that. I'm happy you mentioned it in his presence. And I also want to encourage us to also go to our online to read our news, read up published propaganda. If you go to the site, most of the news you see there are purely real news. A lot of propaganda and issues are there with. We meet with the authority to talk about issues. So it's not like other news media outfit or a lot of propaganda is going on. But when you go to Afrikanwatch site, you will see a lot of authentic news, both from abroad, those from abroad who also send in their news, like from South Africa, Mauritius. You do justice to some of these. And of course, my parish priest can also attest that we have also been supporting. But I think you can attest to that. Sure. We will also be supporting the parish in the area of news and any function that they request our function to be. Before I round up, let me say this, that the conjoined thing that was sponsored by this church in Ambassador, it's unfortunate that I did not inform you of this. I know you have done something. Because most time I was in Port Harcourt, when my father was calling me. I was in Lagos after we did some communication on the issue. A young couple just put it out that the babies were conjoined their stomach. These are very poor people. So the parish priest and the associate took over the mantle of assistance. Realized some money the church had to complement to ensure that these children meet. Like rightly said, they send them to India, they spend millions of naira at the church. Where does the church get the money? By the ministry. So it's for the goodwill of people who come home. So
They have always run for your praise.
So it's a good avenue that we have you here to hear Dr. Osispa. Whenever the need arises for us to reach you, whether they're going to come through me or whatever channel, I'm very sure you will also respond just like we responded. Thank you all for coming. I appreciate you and God bless.
This position I am seeing from, I can see things. There's going to be refreshment, obviously, and there is need for the refreshment to be blessed. I would like to call on I was actually looking at him before. So the spirit is moving. I would like to call on Father Vincent to please do us the honor.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Spirit. Amen. Bless us, O Lord, and this your gift, which I am about to receive out of your goodness through Christ our Lord.
Amen.
In the name of the Father, Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Amen. Like I said, to more achievement. Empty cup, I said, empty glass, just so that even if it's a spoon or plate, just touch something. So to good life, to more life, to more prosperity, to more achievement, to more of God's protection, to more of God's wisdom, to more of God's reason to do more to humanity, to more of God's direction, and to more of God's will to be done in this our country. To the glory of God, let us all toast to the good life and to the achievement of the very Reverend Father Kingsley Onyekuru, CSSR ANP. Please go ahead and just go ahead. Congratulations, sir. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.